वृणीमहे गात्री यज्ञाय गात्री यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शञ्चतुष्पदे ओम शांति शांति शांति। You might have heard the word Shastram. So just now we finished with Shastram, Yoga Shastram. Shastram is basically science. It is in Sanskritam, not in Sanskrit. It is in Sanskritam. Shasti iti Shastram, which gives the method, which gives the way to study something is called Shastram. This is Yoga Shastram. And there are many Shastras: Tantra Shastram, Yantra Shastram, Shiksha Shastram, Kalpa Shastram. Anything you take, it is called Shastram because it is science. There is another Shastram, Tarka Shastram. Generally we mean by Tarka is to debate or to discuss. But here Tarka Shastram is the combination of two systems of philosophies. It is Vaisheshika and Nyaya. There are 6 philosophies. And the whole group of philosophies are divided into 2. The first one is Vaidika and second one is Avaidika. Vaidika Darshanani, Avaidika Darshana. Darshanam is to see, to look at, or the Darshanam is a viewpoint. How do I look the universe? So first is Purva Mimamsa. The complementary darshanam of Purva Mimamsa is Uttara Mimamsa. And there is third one, Yoga. And complementary of Yoga is Sankhya. And again, Nyaya, and complementary of Nyaya is Vaisheshika. So there are 3 pairs: Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa, first pair; Sankhya and Yoga, second pair; Vaisheshika and Nyaya is third pair. Among them, Tarka Shastram is the combination of Nyaya and Vaisheshika. Vaisheshika, the word Vaisheshika came from Vishesha. Vishesha is special. Speciality, it identifies the speciality in every object. So that is Vaisheshika Shastram. The speciality of Vaisheshika Shastram is to identify the speciality of every object. And Nyayam is to be logical, or the whole Nyaya Shastram is based upon the ways of acquiring knowledge. So I am going to take this Nyaya Shastram today. This is very simple. All these sciences are very simple, but many people make it very complicated. No, it is very simple. How do we get knowledge? How do I know all of you are sitting here? I'm seeing you. I'm observing you. My eyes are working. In the case, if I don't have eyes, how shall I come to know that you are here? How? My ears are working. Though I am not seeing you directly, you are chanting. Till now you have chanted the set of shlokas. So I will come to know many people are here. My ears are also not working. How shall I come to know? If someone touches you, so someone comes, oh, you should not sit, go further. So I will come to know that there is someone. These are the ways to know how you will come to know that others are there. Unless these ways, you will not come to know that you are here. So all this put together is only pratyaksha. Pratyaksha is indriya artha sannikarshajam jnanam. Jnanam, the knowledge which comes from indriya and artha sannikarsha. When there is connection, when there is a relation of indriya and artha. Indriya is the sense organ, and artha is the object. Pratyaksha jnanam is nothing but to have knowledge through this way, through indriya and artha sannikarsha. So this is called indriya artha sannikarsha jnanam, pratyaksha jnanam. Second category, anumana jnanam. Anumanam is not to doubt. Many times it is the general meaning. Anumanam is to doubt. But here anumanam is not to doubt. There is technical term inference. Inferential knowledge. What is the inferential knowledge? Do all of you know that I am alive? All of you know that I am alive. How do you know? I am speaking. I am seeing you. Then, what is the reason I am alive here? Because there is something called prana. Can you see prana? No one can see prana. But you know that there is prana. Though you are not seeing, the prana is not being observed by eyes, not the ears, not the skin, not the tongue, or not the smell. Prana cannot be smelled. How do you know that I am alive here? I am speaking, I am doing everything. So, though you are not seeing prana, you know that I am alive. There is something called prana. Unless there is prana, there cannot be any action. There cannot be any movement in the body. So there is prana. I came to know that I am prani. I have prana. How? Through something. That's called inferential knowledge. Let me give another example. All of you are sitting here. And someone comes from the outside and he sees the slippers. All the slippers are kept in a line, and they will come to know that there are some people sitting inside. Did they see all of us? No, they didn't see. But even though they didn't see us, they will come to know that we are here through slippers. It is not pratyaksha jnanam, it is anumana jnanam. The third one, upamiti jnanam. Upamiti jnanam is the knowledge you get from comparison. I compare some object with another object. For example, someone doesn't know what is table. No, we cannot see here table. I want to make you know that the knowledge of table. How shall I explain how table is? Table is like the desk. Table is bigger than the desk. But what is my reference point? The desk. So I compare the table with the desk. It is not pratyaksha jnanam, it is not anumana jnanam, but it is upamana jnanam, upamiti jnanam. Upamiti is, upamanam is to compare. There is something called Gavaya. Gavaya is like a big bull. It is like big buffalo. Wild buffalo is called Gavaya. With what I am explaining that? I am taking big buffalo as the reference point. I am explaining what the Gavaya is. Gavaya, no one knows how it is. But I am saying it is, Gavaya is like big buffalo. So the knowledge is by comparing two things. Then there is another way to get knowledge. It is Shabda Jnanam. What is Shabda Jnanam? Shabda Jnanam is the Vakyam, the sentences by Apta. Apta Vakyam Shabdaha. Who is Apta? Apta is very near or very dearest one is called Apta. So how shall I come to know that he is dearest or he is the right person to refer? Again, Apta is not alone very dearest, nearest. Aptaha yathartha vakta. One who says as it is, he is called Apta. So some person comes to me and says he is very bad guy. Then I will go and check that guy. No, he is very good. Though this person who said me that he is bad person will not become Apta. Apta is one who says as it is called Apta. All the Shastram of Shabda or the Veda, the whole literature of Veda is called Shabda Jnanam. Whatever knowledge we get from Vedas, those are called Apta Jnanam. We cannot deny it. Whatever Veda says, we just follow. Because we consider Vedas are Aptas. Aptaha yathartha vakta. Vedas will give the knowledge as it is. And who created Vedas? The Rishis? Our ancestors? No. Vedas are not created. Vedas are not written. Then how can there be any scripture which is not written, which is not created, which is not edited? So this is the big question. What is the source? How did they originate? So all the Rishis brought out the Vedas. All the Rishis are called Mantra Drashtaraha. Drashtaraha is the seer. One who sees is called Drashtara. We never say Mantra Kartara. Kartaraha, one who creates. But Vedas are not created. Then where were they? This is the question, where? So, Vedas themselves say that Vedas are everywhere. It is like Atma. So we consider Veda mantras are very, very pious, very pure. It can be compared with the Atma. So how did they come out? If it is like, if all the Vedas are like Atma, how did they manifest themselves? So Rishis are the medium. Rishis are the way of manifestation of the Vedas. Rishis didn't write it. Those are the mediums. Just for example, how the Rishis. Did all of you use the transistors or FMs or the radios? Yes, everyone knows how it works, how internet works. Are there waves of radios here? How? Yeah, from the source, there is source point and waves are created from there. The moment you receive the signals, the moment you tune your radio to the corresponding frequency, you will get immediately radio waves. This is how Vedas came out. The Rishis were so synchronized, so one with the nature, one with the Vedas, one with the Atma. They could bring the knowledge in the form of Vedas through doing tapas. Vedas will come out, will manifest themselves through Veda, through Rishis. Rishis are the people who synchronize themselves with the nature. The people who tune themselves with the nature, who make themselves equipped so that they will receive everything from the nature. Are we like that? We are so artificial. Why Vedas are not coming out in these days, in Kali Yuga? Why? Because we are synchronizing ourselves with the nature. We want to be separate from the nature. We want to use more and more artificial things. We want to use which is against the nature. So plastic. How much plastic we are using every day? It doesn't mean we should not use at all. But how far? Rishis were called Rishis because they were mantra drashtaraha. They could synchronize, they could be one with the nature so that they got the knowledge in the form of Vedas. So this is the last one. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana and Shabda Jnanam. I get the knowledge through synchronizing myself with the nature. That is the finest. This is what explained in Nyaya Shastram. It is called Pramana Shastram. Pramanam is the reference point. How I am getting all the knowledge. Either Pratyaksha, Anumana or Upamana or Shabda. All these Pratyaksha, Anumana and Upamana are based on Shabda. Whatever Shabda says, we just accept it. Because it is highest knowledge. It is not created by any human. It is not created by any human mind. There is a defect all the time whichever is created by the human mind. because human mind is not total, it is not integrated. So we consider Vedas are the authentic. Whatever Veda says, we just accept it. We will meditate for a few minutes. We will meditate upon the ways to get knowledge. What is the percentage of jnanam we get from pratyaksha and anumana and upamana and shabda? With an Omkara and Shanti Mantra all together. Inhale.
Use the nuclear power as an atomic bomb, it will disaster.